Hi everybody, this is Caroline Sotheby and welcome to Up, Down, and Around Town. Well, last couple of weeks was pretty interesting. We had gone to the American Legion and just got some kids showing how much they got in their little bucket of candy, and that one there found the golden egg, and he got that special gift, and they were enjoying themselves. A lot of candy for a kid. I mean, that's probably better than Halloween time. Anyway, the next one was just this past weekend, the blessing of the food, which is traditional in some of the churches here. And of course, that's the reason for celebrating Easter. He is risen. So with that already in the past, and of course, we get winter the following day. Anyway, I have to go to our guest today because he's busy. He's going to go to a meeting after this, but he came on to give us a little bit information on the Beautification Commission, and I appreciate it, John. So,
certainly.
Okay, how many people are on the commission anyway?
Well, for the Beautification Commission, again, John Darren, I'm chair of the Beautification Commission. We have 11 members.
11? Okay.
11 members, and we are replenishing 3 of them, newly appointed, or to be soon appointed, new commissioners. So it's very exciting, new times for us.
Okay.
And very happy about that.
All right. What do you people actually do? I mean, you gave me a list of a lot of these things, but say in general, not everybody goes out and helps with the weeding and all this stuff. So they go around the city sometimes and look at possible candidates for awards.
Yeah, we have multiple activities that we are responsible for. We have coming up this weekend is the spring cleanup, our annual spring cleanup. A very important event to help gather up all the trash and debris and whatever that's blown around over the course of the winter time downtown DDA area. We clean the beds to prepare the flower beds and landscape beds for planting in May. Okay. Which is a nice segue to our May dig-in on May 21st. The spring cleanup is, as I mentioned, is coming Saturday,
the 23rd.
April 23rd. Yeah. And that's to prep everything for the cleanup, or for the dig-in rather, on the 21st of May. And what do? We are a working commission. We are our hands and knees, dirty fingernails, getting our hands and our trowels in the dirt. We love playing in the dirt. And what else do? We look for volunteers. We look for other individuals who are of like mind and want to get out, do some exercise, pay back to the city a little bit, and make Wyandotte continue to look beautiful.
Right. Okay. Now, if you're trying to get somebody there, I know usually the coach used to come with his kids and quite a few people. Yes. Where's the meeting spot now?
Okay, because of COVID, over the past year or so, we've met online, Zoom meetings, remote Zoom meetings. But the Michigan Open Meetings Act has basically kind of forbid that now because things are, at least according to those rules makers, have subsided enough with COVID that we could meet face to face. Okay. So we began meeting again in the city council chambers.
Oh, really?
Yes. Okay. And we would be meeting. We would have met there last Thursday, but because of interior work in the building, we had to reschedule for today, which is
so that's
a Tuesday. Kind of weird for us, but we adapt. We're very adaptable. And we'll be meeting in the actually mayor's conference room today, which is where we used to meet pre-COVID, but it's a smaller room than the city
Yeah.
council chambers,
Yeah.
for obvious reasons.
Okay. So if they want to help out, where would they have to go in most cases? Like, say, once you get your idea spots, you got this to be cleaned and that to be taken care of, and say you get your groups organized, do they have to meet on the outside, or are they still supposed to meet in City Hall on the 23rd?
Okay, good question. Actually, for our outdoor events,
Uh-huh.
we have one primary meeting location,
Okay.
and that is the corner of First and Elm.
Okay.
That
Okay.
is where we meet. That's where our registration table is. That's where the commission is. That's where all the volunteers gather.
Okay.
From there, we have a coordinator and various captains, if you will, for the different areas. They're assigned to various groups of volunteers, and they just walk
Just go
out,
their
fan
own
out,
way. Yeah.
and go where they need to go. Typically, we like volunteers there by 9 o'clock a.m., and typically they're done by noon.
Okay.
Yeah, and we have volunteer certificates that are made available to the volunteers
Oh,
because
really?
that's good for a lot of the school kids.
Uh-huh.
You show their community service,
Right.
and we provide that for them,
Okay.
and generally very successfully. So this coming Saturday, meet at 9 o'clock at corner First and Elm.
Okay. Well, you got plenty of space there because
Yes.
that's the old theater lot,
Exactly.
and so you can organize and have your tables there and assign it. I've been at Nando's quite a few times, and I saw the groups all coming there, and then they venture out and see them even on Biddle Avenue going into those planters or
Oh, yeah.
other areas. So
We have
Yeah.
60 some odd tree boxes.
60, yeah.
Minimum. That's just
Minimum?
down Biddle.
Uh-huh.
But there's an issue with them over the years of becoming now so root bound that it's hard to put holes in the soil because there's a lot of roots. We do have daylilies growing in each of the corners. They're there to stay. So the question then becomes, what do we do for the annuals? So we're looking at ground cover. Now,
Okay.
to pretty that up a little bit. A flowering ground cover. And there are a number of different selections out there, different varieties.
Okay, so now if you have to order plants, what time of the year do you have to actually put your orders in? Is it earlier than
February.
now?
February,
February, yeah?
yes. And that allows the grower to grow
Yeah.
the plants. We use a 4-star greenhouse out of Carlton
Oh,
for
really?
most of our plantings. That's the Proven Winners brand.
Uh-huh.
And they actually get their plant material from Costa Rica.
Really?
Yeah, that's their main grow site.
Uh-huh.
So from the seedlings, they grow little plants, and from Costa Rica plant, then they ship it out to various Proven Winner nurseries throughout the country.
No kidding.
Yes.
So it's not like ordering it from California or Florida or any of those places.
And they get it from
It's what
Costa
we
Rica.
call local. They do the
Yeah.
planning
so
and
we do it locally. As
Okay.
local as we can.
okay.
And again, we're looking at quality, quantity, variety, a number of different criteria. Our hanging baskets, which are really quite beautiful, we get those from Eckert's Greenhouse,
Oh, you?
and I believe they're in Sterling Heights,
Oh, yeah?
East Side Greenhouse.
Okay.
And it's just a combination of the quality. They bring them out, they install them.
Oh, do they?
Oh, they do the whole shot for us, yes.
Well, that helps out.
Tremendously.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
so it's pretty nice. And we also do shopping at local downriver area greenhouses
But
to supplement.
I think a lot of people out there don't realize you guys have titles. You have to know about the plants and everything else, the moisture, the fertilization, and everything else, don't you?
Oh, certainly. A lot of it's on the job. I mean, you kind of learn as we go along.
Okay.
But there are a few of us, myself included, who are master gardeners,
Okay.
and everybody on the commission is encouraged to go in that direction through MSU Extension, their training course. The Beautification Commission will reimburse for that,
Will they?
for
Okay.
that tuition expense, because it's something we like to cultivate, no pun intended. And so I think there are 3 of us on the commission
Okay.
at this time who are master gardeners. But everybody gets very knowledgeable.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, of course, if you're dealing with the nurseries too, they're updating you on the quality or what's new or what type of, I mean, soil. I've been watching like QVC where they're trying to, sell all those Robertas and all that, but they do give information
Oh, yes.
on
Oh, yes.
how do you start and what do you do for this and this and this and expect this and this. And so
Exactly.
it's a learning channel in a sense, even though they're trying to sell, but it's informative for us. We don't know.
Exactly.
But you people do, though.
Well, some of the criteria that we use, I mean, color, texture, we like things that will pop at you.
Yeah.
And they'll really draw your attention. We like going through, a number of commissioners like cruising through other communities. It's just to get ideas.
Yeah.
Typically, but we look for pop, but we also are realistic and understand that many and most of our plantings are in an extremely busy downtown corridor.
Yeah.
So it's going to get foot traffic sometimes. We don't
Yeah.
want foot traffic through our plantings, but kids will be kids, they'll play,
Yeah.
whatever. So the plants that we choose need to be hardy. They can take a little abuse, if you will,
Yeah.
a little use.
Yeah.
And they also have to be hardy enough to withstand the rather cold, blustery winds that come off the river and the special environmental conditions that we find right here. Now, one thing that's working to our advantage is along the Detroit River and other bodies of water, it's very temperate. We actually, the water holds heat and actually raises the temperature zone of
Really?
the neighboring area from a zone 5 to a zone 6.
Okay.
Yeah, which is very nice. A little bit warmer and a little bit steadier. So the water works in our favor there.
Okay.
So there's a lot to consider with the plantings.
So you guys have to really put your heads together and,
Oh, yes.
and figure out what you're going to have new, what you have to replace, what you don't have to.
And that's high on our agenda in about a half hour.
Okay.
No,
All right.
That's quite all right. We're doing good here. But
All right.
that's on our agenda today. Is a spring dig-in planting, last-minute preps for the cleanup coming up this weekend. Volunteers are very welcome and encouraged.
So if somebody wants to hop down, best place to meet, it'd be at First and Elm.
First to know.
And 9 o'clock? till
9
even
o'clock, and
just-
actually, we have a hotline phone number.
Okay.
If a volunteer is part of a larger group, we love to get groups in. The football team, the cheerleader squad, singing troops, faith groups, faith-based, industrial, commercial. 2, 3, 4, 5, doesn't matter. Come on
The
down.
more the merrier.
More the merrier.
Yeah.
We have a hotline phone number, which is 734-324-7293. And you can always call, leave a message regarding your participation.
Yeah.
You can email us at beautification@wyan.org.
Okay.
beautification@wyan.org, or visit us on our Facebook page.
Okay. How about that?
How about that?
That's just the beginning. This is just springtime.
Yes.
And then you have the planting time. But you got another area that you rent out space, right? and people how do they get in touch with you for that too? And how much would it cost to have, your little planting area just for them?
If you're speaking to the Adopt a Spot?
Yeah, no. Is that the one that you're talking
well,
here?
There's two I want to talk about real quick, if I might.
Okay,
Because
go
we've already
ahead.
talked about the cleanup.
Yeah,
This Saturday, April 23rd, volunteers are encouraged.
right.
And our spring dig-in, Saturday, May 21st,
Okay.
9 to noon. Again, volunteers, come on down. But we have two other huge programs,
Oh, yeah,
very
okay.
successful. Our community garden,
Yeah,
36 beds that has been relocated to the Grove Street Greenbelt, down Biddle and Grove Street. We're in the process of, we have filled all 36 beds,
okay.
which is remarkable. And I'm very excited about that. We've gotten huge support from DPS and the engineering department. They are working, and I need to give them their props right now. They are working on constructing a phase 2. Our phase 1 is our 36 standard
Yeah.
raised beds with very special topsoil compost mix, formulated and created by DPS, actually.
Okay.
Yes, perfect. And then phase 2 will be handicap accessible. We're looking at 6 probably U-shaped beds,
Okay.
raised beds, for wheelchair access.
Okay.
And then maybe another 6 beds, maybe 4 feet off the ground, waist height, raised beds for those persons who are very arthritic. They can't bend, stoop, kneel, whatever they have to do, what they do standing. So these would be all
Okay.
handicap or ADA accessible.
Okay, now is
Good.
that already in construction or?
It's in process right now.
Yeah, it is right
Yes,
now.
I'm excited. I don't know if we'll be able to get that planted by the end of this growing season, because it takes time.
Yeah,
But the pad's already laid. We have a shed that was just constructed by DPS. Thank you, gentlemen, very much for that. We're going to be getting a gazebo and a bench and all kinds of very cool stuff.
and it's a nice area.
Yes.
I mean, it's across from your golf course, and you go down in the street. And,
Yes, and we are very careful and mindful. I want to emphasize this piece, too. Very careful and mindful to our neighbors to the north of us on Forest Street, because we're
Okay.
right behind them. And that section of Forest Street was the Festival of Homes.
oh, okay.
Yes. My wife and I actually built a home there, and I look at it every time I'm at the community garden. We have since moved and relocated back. But the point is that we were very mindful of our neighbors. We don't want any mess and ugliness or whatever there
Yeah.
to detract from their the beauty that
Yeah.
that they saw. So I'm very excited that the evolution of this community garden is really going to be a feather in the cap of the city of Wyandotte, and also very complementary to the Festival of Homes neighborhood specifically. And I do want to mention also that because of the efforts of the engineering department and the DPS department with their support of the community garden, we submitted an application for an award in recognition from Keep Michigan Beautiful,
Yeah.
a nonprofit, tax-exempt organization, and the City of Wyandotte Beautification Commission's community garden was awarded their President's Award for
That's
2022. So I'm
Okay.
very thrilled about that.
Yeah.
It just is a testimony to the high level of excellence of this project.
Well, it gives the city an idea of how your different departments are working together.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And-
There's got to be a teamwork.
Yeah, yeah. Well, who oversees that, say, on a daily basis? Like you said, you're keeping it garbage free and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Was engineering or DPS goes down maybe every day just to double check on?
No, we do.
You do?
We do. We have a community garden coordinator,
Okay.
Barbara Fries, who is responsible for that. But, you know, it's been kind of a team effort, especially during this off season, a lot of the planning and whatever.
Yeah.
So it's a team of us.
Okay.
John Allen and Brian Martin at DPS in particular, Greg Mayhew in the engineering department,
Yeah.
amongst others.
Okay. All right. You
And-
got another one you want
Yes,
to
I wanted
talk
to mention
about.
about the Adopt-A-Spot program. Very interesting program. I first heard of the idea back a few years ago, and I don't want to say I stole the idea from Chesterfield Township.
Just borrowed it.
I just borrowed liberally. They had a wonderful program called Adopt-A-Spot, where citizens can, say, take over a particular landscape spot or a historic landmark and say, okay, I'm going to plant it, I'm going to maintain it, I'm going to weed it, make it look pretty.
Okay.
So after borrowing liberally from the Chesterfield Township program, we started our own Adopt-A-Spot in Wyandotte. Nice, rhymey, catchy tune. And we have a coordinator over that program, Nancy Alm. She's fairly new to the commission, but she's going to do great at it, I just know. We're focusing in on the welcome signs
Okay.
throughout town. So this is where we get out of the DDA district and start spreading our wings, if you will,
Yeah.
to some of the other parts of downtown,
Of the
of the
town.
city.
Yeah.
Because actually, according to our bylaws, our scope of practice, if you will, our scope is the city boundaries.
Okay.
But we work where we can get funding
Right.
for the projects. Okay, so the Adopt-A-Spot, we're looking for city support for that. We're trying to figure out a way to do it appropriately. But we're focusing in on right now some of the monuments at BASF Park and the welcome signs.
All right.
Yeah, and
So,
pretty
yeah,
well.
you're somewhat limited to your funds because, like you said, DDA, at least you know you're getting your Biddle Avenue in City Hall and areas like that. Bishop Park is included in that too, isn't it?
Yeah, the southernmost
Yeah.
area, tip of it. But I think DDA ends right at Bishop Park,
Okay. All right.
the actual outline district.
But I hear an
But
awful
there's
lot
a
of
rollover. I mean, that's part of downtown, sure.
yeah.
Now, we've had efforts of working on the log cabin. Part of an important part of what we do, the commission, is on Superior Boulevard that all the military monuments,
Right.
the Purple Heart Memorial Garden,
And that is usually
that's
beautiful.
gorgeous. And I got
Yeah.
to give Maggie her props too.
Yeah.
Maggie Molnar, who works tirelessly weeding and cleaning up all these areas with support on hands and knees by a number of our commissioners too.
Yeah.
Alice and Wendy and just a number of ladies. But there's that Purple Heart Memorial Garden, then across the street heading towards Bishop Park is a Veterans Memorial, which is fairly new, and that was put in place by DPS, and Brian Martin, I know, is spearheading that. Very nicely done. Behind that is a World War I memorial. A little bit farther closer to the river, you'll see the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, and that's all planted
Yeah.
also. And then once you cross
It's,
into Bishop Park, I'm just thinking in my mind's eye here, follow that
There is the path,
same
yeah.
path. There is another very large memorial, that's the World War II
all right.
Veterans Memorial. So
And
there's a
that's
lot
all-
of memorials in that whole stretch, and we plant where we can, and we're thinking in terms of maybe enhancing the plantings via pots and whatever for some of the other memorials there that don't have in-ground plantings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll
All
see.
right.
Film at 11.
So you have a lot of area to cover.
A ton.
Yeah, so you do need extra people to say,
We need
hey,
volunteers. Come on down.
come on down. No, come
on
on
down.
down. All right. So as a repeat again, this Saturday, April 23rd, if you got a group or you want to come by yourself, First and Elm at 9 o'clock, or even beforehand, because by that time the groups are getting assigned.
Yeah, about 1:45.
Yeah.
That would be good. Kids under the age of 18 need to be accompanied by an adult.
Okay.
And they are not permitted to sign the hold harmless waivers,
Okay.
but their adult guardian or supervisor for that
Will
group
do it.
signs for each of them.
Okay.
Very important.
And
It's a
then you said
legal-
you have certificates for them to
Oh, yeah,
show that
yeah.
they
Yes.
participated, and
Yes.
yeah. Well, that's good. It goes on their record at school too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're thinking about the future. That's a learning experience for some of the kids that say, "Hey, I never knew that."
Sure.
Okay. I
Tell
know.
your family members, come on down.
Yeah. And you know, you do have awards coming up. That's probably something else that we'll have more time at another one, because you have fall, you have winter, you have in the spring. What's the area of the dates for the spring, planning and that, where you give awards out? Is there a certain
Oh, you're
date?
talking about the beautification awards.
Yeah.
Yes, beautification awards. The commissioners basically drive around town,
Okay.
just looking at yards. Is what we do. And then a number of people send in nomination forms. So we can nominate properties,
Okay.
residents or businesses, and businesses, I should say. Business owners, residents can nominate other properties.
Okay.
Send in a nice, clean color photo, or email it in. We judge it at our August meeting, and we make the presentations at the September City Council meeting.
Okay.
Typically, the first of the two
Okay.
City Council meetings.
Okay.
And
We don't
likewise,
have too much time, so what's the phone number? 734-324?
324-7293. 324-7293.
Okay. Hey, thank you for coming.
Oh, my
Okay.
pleasure. Thanks
and
for having
you'll get to
me.
the meeting in time.
Oh, yeah. Never had it down. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Up, Down, and Around Town. Bye-bye now.